cartoons there. We're getting ready to start the movie, which is Gammera tonight. We've got 3 people watching, 2 people on Twitch and somebody on Facebook. I went ahead and streamed to Facebook. I hadn't been streaming to Facebook the last couple of weeks. I went ahead and I posted the stream there. So everyone who's watching, please say hello in the chat so we know who you are. There's links in the description and in the chat here that tell you how to donate and where you can buy 50th Street merchandise. 50th Street Studio is a nonprofit, and it's very important that we get donations every time we stream. I've put in a goal of $100 for this weekend. We had a stream already today. I did a first episode of Bad Saturday Morning earlier today at 10 a.m. Pacific. We showed a mini marathon of Ultraman. I co-hosted it with Mr. Fox Guy, and he'll be joining me again next Saturday. And hopefully we'll have other co-hosts in future episodes. But tonight we're going to be rerunning one of our favorite movies, which is Gammera. This is a copy of the movie that's just started here. Let me shrink it in so it fits there. This is a movie that we showed live at our retail space earlier this year. What we showed the first time around was the Japanese version, and I'm going to show you an example of that here. First of all, this the Japanese cut here looks like it's in 70mm, even though it's in black and white. It's really, really wide, and it's difficult to fit it all onto the screen here. Plus, also, it's in it has subtitles, as you can see here. And I think it's going to be very difficult for viewers on this little screen to read these subtitles. So what I decided to do, instead of that version, I'll show the American cut, which does not have subtitles. And apparently it includes extra footage of bad American actors pretending to care about Gammera, which I'm eager to see because I've never seen it before. I've never seen this cut. And it starts off with this funny little rock and roll Gammera song. And that's it. No more song. Well, look how badly this is framed.
A ship gropes through the ice fields of the Arctic. The expedition, with American and Canadian cooperation, seeks an open water route across the top of the continent, Henry Hudson's fabled Northwest Passage. There are no fables in the objective of Dr. A.G. Hidaka, the expedition zoologist. Ashore with 2 companions to survey the life of the region, they approach an Eskimo village, innocently unaware of the fabulous experiences ahead of them.
I'd hate to live in cold like this all the time.
These people have developed special adaptations, Mr. Ayagi.
Uh-huh. Well, I hope my cameras don't freeze.
Carissa says there wasn't even time to jam. Yeah, you're right.
Welcome. Welcome. We have heard of your expedition, Doctor. Welcome to Okolud. Welcome.
So you watched a little of the
I think that those planes up there would make an interesting picture, Mr. Ayagi.
of the Ultraman stream this morning.
So?
Yeah.
What are Russian jets doing here?
It went well. It turned out
1,000 miles to the west.
to be very entertaining.
I hope the shore party returns soon, sir. I don't like the looks of things.
Have the ice conditions changed?
No, sir, just a feeling. Planes.
I did some reading about Gammera.
I'll notify air defense.
It was the Japanese film was released in 1965 by Daiei Studios. Headquarters Air Defense Sect. Okay, yeah, this is badly cut here. Okay, this is stuff I've not seen before. Yeah, this is all footage I've never seen.
I hear my name mentioned?
You did. Susan, we know you've marked yourself no trespassing, but you shouldn't stop a guy for trying. Baby, it's
Oh my God.
It's right, gorgeous. You gotta thaw out. Now,
Oh my
there's a
God.
Sea Island picture at the rec hall tonight. Tropical shadows, dulcet sea ripples, muted mandolins, and me. With popcorn yet. Would ya? do
Oh,
me the
shut
honor?
up.
Maybe. If you keep your buttery claws to yourself, remember that airmen don't drool. They obey.
What? I'm actually sorry I'm seeing this.
Excuse me, Captain.
Get the General. Make it fast, Hopkins.
This just came in.
Thank you. What is it, Captain? General, see these reports. They just came in, sir. Has this been confirmed? Yes, sir. We just intercepted a message from the Japanese explorer ship Chitteramaru.
Thank you for the subscription,
What is it? What's wrong?
Carissa. Very much
UFOs
appreciated.
headed toward our missile sites.
Level.
Pat
I want
Boone.
direct contact with air defense immediately.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant, have there been similar reports from other command posts?
No, sir.
Well, ride herd.
Yes, sir.
Clark,
Yes, sir.
I want you to get me General Arnold in Washington pronto.
Right away.
General, we made contact with air defense.
This is General O'Neill. Do you read me?
Yes, sir. This is Hawk Leader Foster. Affirmative.
Foster, 4 unknowns have been traced to your area. Altitude 4,000 feet, flying north-northeast. A latitude of 84.27. East longitude 176.58. You will intercept and conduct them to base. If they resist, you will use plan Skylark and destroy.
Roger.
Okay, Miranda's here. She says she's at a dinner party. I recognize this actor who's playing the commander.
What is it? Russian planes are now Americans. Trouble, huh?
Real trouble, yes.
Anyway, I was reading about the making of this film. The Daiei film company wanted they wanted an alternative to Godzilla.
Still no reports of unknown from our other command post, sir.
Could be their plane.
They were seeing how successful the Godzilla movies were, so
Perhaps. Washington, sir? The White House?
apparently the guy had a...
No need to explain it, Lieutenant. O'Neill speaking. Yes, Mr. President. Yes, sir, that's exactly the way it is.
See, I definitely recognize this actor.
No, sir, only if the unknowns resist. Yes, sir, I quite agree with you. Yes, sir, I will call you directly. Red alert.
Red alert! Wow. But the director, the producer, had an idea. He wanted to make a movie called The Giant Rat Invasion. He had this idea of building a miniature city like in the Godzilla movies and having it covered with rats, so it looked like there were giant rats. And they built all the sets and everything. They built the miniatures and the cities and everything. And then they acquired a box full of rats or whatever. The rat trainers came in, and the rats had fleas. And the flea infestation was so bad that it shut down the studio. They had to shut down the studio. So they said, okay, no more rats. The rat idea isn't going to work. So one of his writers came up with the idea of a giant nuclear flying turtle. And then Gammera happened. Yeah, Carissa says no fleas on turtles, I guess. Wow.
Only a nuclear bomb could cause a blast like that.
You're right. It was one of those jets we saw. And here I stand staring at that cloud when I ought to be taking a shot at the ear. A great news photographer I am.
Only a nuclear bomb can make a cloud like that.
Realize what would happen
So
should that cloud come toward us.
an airplane with an atomic bomb on it,
Low megaton
the bomb will
atomic bomb
automatically
exploded.
explode when the plane
Latitude
crashes. Is that how it works?
78.97, longitude 86.32.
Actually, no, that's not how it works.
The other bogey's now headed toward the Siberian border, awaiting further orders.
Thank you, Sergeant. Lovell, tell Foster to recon and photograph the destruction. The other interceptors to pursue the enemy.
Yes, sir.
Still no reports from Strategic Command. It appears to be a single incident.
Do you regard a nuclear explosion as a single incident, Lieutenant?
Yes, sir. No, sir. Excuse me, sir. General, air defense reports the Japanese ship Chitteramaru and the surrounding Eskimo villages are beyond fallout.
Well, thank God for that. Try and raise the chitter tomorrow. I want to speak to the captain.
Yes, sir.
This actor is taking this very seriously.
May I ask how serious you think this is?
Well, there's no point in guessing. We'll have to play it by ear. Whatever happens.
Whatever happens. Speaking of which... So is this version just not going to include the commander, the American commander from the Japanese version? Because he was one of my favorite characters. He's a big... Harris Associates Incorporated presents Gammera the Invincible with Gammera misspelled. Albert Decker, Brian Donnelly. Mort Marshall. Yeah, the American commander in the version we've seen before is one of my favorite characters. Big bald guy with a very thick New York accent. Very artsy shots of Gammera's skin for the credits.
No, Mr. President.
But the guy he picks up the
Yes, sir. We'll stay on red alert.
he picks up the CB mouthpiece and he says, "Calling all planes, fighter planes." That's one of my favorite lines.
Well,
Too bad we're not going to hear it this time.
Flew off course accidentally. Electronic interference.
Bull! Excuse me, sir. I mean, they couldn't have
Bull.
mistaken the area.
Take your cigar out of your mouth, soldier.
Missile locations?
Oh, one plane maybe, Lieutenant, but not four. No, headquarters believes they did fly off course accidentally, then realized what had happened and fired on our planes in order not to be forced down. Oh, our boys have done it on occasion, Lieutenant. We all know that. Clark.
Oh,
you got any
no
luck
big
raising
deal.
the Japanese ship?
No, sir. No air defense since you ordered them
Nuclear
back. Our
explosion,
communication system is blacked out.
The explosion, sir?
It's unlikely. There must be something else causing the interference. Keep on trying, Clark.
Yes, sir.
This just doesn't make sense. Love will get more interceptors up there. I want to find out what's going on.
Yes, sir.
This is actually worse than the
Sergeant
original.
Embers,
Yes, General?
would you give me a cup of coffee, please? Black, no sugar. And you better make another pot. It looks like a long day.
Yes, sir.
Yep, she's the girl on staff.
What's the matter, Cuco?
I don't know, Doctor. I can't reach the ship. Or anyone else. I can't get anything but static.
Everybody hits on her, then
Interference from the
sends her to
bomb,
make
Doctor?
coffee.
I would imagine so. We'd better start back at once. Right. Goodbye, Chief. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Wait, please, Dr. Hidaka. You look, you take his very old stone about Cloud of Death.
It's a primitive carving of a proto-Chelonian. A what? An ancestral turtle, like the leatherback. Tell me, Chief, is there a legend connected with this?
Yes. Old story of death and evil things that happen. Of Gammera.
And all the children run when he says the word
This camera is
Gammera.
obviously an object of terror.
There's a peculiar pattern in the background. Looks almost like waves.
Yep,
doesn't it?
Carissa says there's always a legend.
Chief.
So it sent the children and the dogs running for the
Only
igloos.
that it is. Evil and very frightening.
I see. I have a feeling that this is something very significant.
Isn't that pattern symbolic of something else?
Yes, I believe it is. This is not the usual way that Eskimos depict the sea.
But what else could it be? I mean, turtles live in water, so that would make sense.
Not the usual
Well,
way that
perhaps you're
Eskimos. No, but these are movie
Still, I think
Eskimos.
there's much more to this than meets the eye.
The cloud is spreading. But why should any of those planes be carrying an atomic bomb? They don't trust each other. That's why they stay on the alert. Look there.
ship! All hands, abandon ship!
Any luck? No, sir. All frequencies appear to be jammed.
Then forget it. Abandon ship!
We tried, sir.
Abandon ship! Quick, get out of here! Are you insane?
Yeah, I think I would jump ship too if there was a,
Forget the hell! Get out of here! Hurry!
a giant saber-toothed radioactive turtle walking toward us on two legs. And he breathes fire, of course.
General O'Neill. We've been able to contact Captain Foster, sir. He reports
Spicy
the Chidamaro
tacos, says,
destroyed. All that remains is a huge crack in the
Carissa.
ice and debris.
What?
No sign of survivors, sir.
Now, Foster said that ship was beyond the area of the explosion. Now, what happened?
Well, sir, I don't exactly know how to explain his report. It's just that, well, sir, he says
All right, Lovell, this is no time to get tongue-tied. Now, let's hear it.
Captain Foster insists that after he was separated from his group, he saw a giant turtle walking away from the area where the Chidamaro was last sighted. A huge creature, 150, maybe 200 feet tall. He circled the area to take another look, but it was gone, as if it had flown away. Well, now that's what he says, sir.
The captain's kidding. A giant turtle? He must have been working too hard. That's one we haven't heard before.
All right, Sergeant, get back to your duties.
Yes, sir.
Now, look, Lovell, I don't know what the hell is
Okay,
going on.
this is
here, but
a-
We're going to find out.
This is a
Now, I
pan
want
and
a
scan
full
cut.
report on this
Looks like it was made for
hallucination. And I also
television.
want a helicopter over that disaster area to see if there are any survivors.
Both of these guys should be on
There's some
screen
people
the way
ashore.
it's
Whatever happened. Sergeant Embers,
the way it looks.
I want you to contact General Yatasaka in Tokyo. Now, inform him of what has happened, that we're doing all possible to rescue survivors. Also, General Arnold in Washington. Tell him it is absolutely imperative that he meet me. Coded instructions will follow.
Yes, sir.
A giant turtle.
Wah wah. Baloney, says scientist. Giant turtle controversy. Wow.
And now, back to the second half of the discussion and your host, Mr. Standish.
Hello, I'm J.T. Standish, along with my guests, the noted zoologist, Dr. Emerick Contraire, author of The Factual Basis of
I
Legend.
recognize these actors
and,
too.
on my right, this network's genial science editor, author of such books as Non-Science or Nonsense, Jules Manning.
Non-science or nonsense.
The giant turtle Gammera.
The American writers were having some fun with this.
Dr. Contraire, earlier in our program, you stated the belief that Gammera could in fact exist, while Mr. Manning disagreed rather vigorously.
And I still do. This theory of Dr. Hidaka's is pure science fiction, a figment of an unbridled imagination.
Mr. Manning, any theory, until proven, appears unbelievable to the ignorant. Dr. Hidaka's conclusions are based
And
upon
may I
light
say that
studies.
you are a dickweed?
Now let me restate that turtles, porpoises, or scientifically, colonians, appear constantly in the most ancient texts. For example,
Wow,
the,
these guys have
Greek
attitude.
mythology that lived in fire, and also the parabola of Pliny.
What are you trying to prove, Doctor?
That to a scholar, there is more than just a casual basis for Dr. Hidaka's conclusions. We know for a fact that a mere 1,000,000 years ago or so, the gigantic Kalasakalis Atlas plodded over the hills of northern India, the largest turtle ever known, a link to the more distant past. Now, how gigantic were turtles 100 million years ago, or even 200 million years ago?
I'd like to discuss the conflicting newspaper report.
So you and the eminent Dr. Hidaka conclude that the Gammera creature
The side eye. Look at the side eye on this
100
guy.
million years until now, when he decides to take a stroll. Oh, Dr. Contraire, you do have a sense of humor.
I'm simply advancing the theory that the great-granddaddy of all turtles could have reappeared, released from its tomb of ice by the explosion of the bomb. Now, you may blithely ignore the statements of Dr. Hidaka if you wish. However, I note that you haven't offered a more reasonable explanation for the total destruction of the Chidamaro.
If you'll get down from your pulpit for 1 minute, I'd like to ask you why Washington is so silent about all this. Or do you know more about it than the government?
It would not be the first time Washington has kept the truth from the public, whether it be flying saucers or Gammera.
Oh, so now you believe in flying saucers, along with 200 feet turtles that survive atomic bomb explosions. Of course, we all know there really is a Santa Claus. Oh, Dr. Contraire, every time you bray, you make a bigger jackass of yourself.
Mr. Standish,
Oh, here we go.
I demand an apology. I've devoted my life to science.
Gentlemen, you'll get no apology from me, Contraire. I prefer to expose
You have no scholarship.
Wow, this is going whole hog.
You have no arguments, only invective. Read Virgil's Laocoon. Read Paradise Lost. The ravings
What?
of a lunatic.
Paradise
Read
Lost?
the Pyrites, the fire without and the frost within. Read, you ignorant ape. Read what intelligent men have written for thousands of years.
What did he call me?
Jules, please.
He called me an ape?
Gentlemen.
Not merely ape.
Quiet. Please
Ignorant
remember that
ape.
we're on...
Why, you?
Remember that we're
Call
on
me.
the
How
air.
dare you
Will you,
call me an
gentlemen?
ape? Where'd you get your diploma? Made in
Ladies
Japan?
and gentlemen,
Oh, you're going to give me
we're
my
out of
here.
time.
What do you want, an advanced man?
I hope that we will meet again next week for another
What do you expect to make out of this?
I can't tell you who the guest will be. You'll be here and we'll...
That was actually pretty funny.
Would you care for a magazine or newspaper, sir?
Oh, thanks. You're very kind.
You're welcome, sir.
Do you suppose there's any connection between this and what happened to the Shidori Maru, Doctor?
I'm personally inclined to believe there is, yes, although we don't know what happened to the ship. Then the radio blackout. Was that mere coincidence?
And those reports General O'Neill told us about Dr. Hidaka, I think there is a connection between them somehow.
I'm sure of it. And far-fetched as it seems, I'm convinced all this has something to do with Gammera.
You mean you believe such a beast might really exist? Of course, you're the scientist, and I'm just a layman, Doctor. But still, after all, except for the pilot's report and the Eskimo stone, there's really nothing to go on.
Still, you can't just discount all that evidence.
No, you can't. To do so is just dangerous and foolish. I'm afraid Gammera is real. A creature like that. Do you realize the amount of damage it could cause?
Of course I do. In civilized areas, it would be capable of destroying whole towns.
My.
Well, you convinced me, Doctor, anyway.
Let's hope General Arnold can convince the people in Washington.
In the Japanese version, there was a really uncomfortable scene on the airplane with a reporter hitting on that woman. Looks like they edited that out.
All right, Ms. Would you take this downtown? This Mr. Jones, type of the report of the day. Thank you very much.
In favor of the
Gentlemen?
television interview fight. It was a good choice.
I think we know why we're here. Let us not waste any time. General Arnold, we'd appreciate your report.
Yes, sir. In addition
I recognize
to
this
our
actor too.
findings, huge footprints, not unlike those of a turtle, leading from the area of the explosion to the exact spot of the destruction of the ship, and also where Captain Foster of our air defense claims he saw the giant turtle. And during the last 13 hours, we have received reliable sightings of flying saucers, all fitting the identical description, starting over Nome, Alaska, proceeding to Saskatchewan, on to Toronto, London, Munich, Warsaw, and
Wait,
now
what?
Moscow.
General, are you
Toronto,
inferring
London, Munich,
these
what?
sightings of UFOs are related to the reports of a giant turtle, a horrendous monster right out of mythology?
I'm inferring nothing, Senator. I'm reporting facts as we know them. And I might add that if UFO continues its pattern, it will be sighted next over Japan. I would estimate in 5 or 6 hours, or shortly before Dr. Hidaka is scheduled to land at Tokyo.
Dr. Hidaka? Does he have some standing in world science councils? I've never heard of him. And I'm considered expert enough to head committees on nuclear fission and the like. This man should not be permitted to terrify the world with such distortions unless he is qualified to...
This is another guy who's looking for a fight.
ray of light on these incredible reports.
The point is that Dr. Hidaka is eminently qualified. I have examined all the reports, including the transcript of the conversation between General Arnold and Dr. Hidaka, shortly after the zoologist was rescued by one of our helicopters. It is evident that he is a logical man and one who relies on facts. And from what he learned about Gammera as a result of his research and the evidence at the scene of destruction, I respect his conclusions, whether his knowledge is derived from science or mythology, both extensive.
Yet, Mr. Secretary, you must agree that until more logical explanations are available, the public should not be informed of this factual evidence of supposed footprints of supposed monsters.
That decision was made by the Commander-in-Chief. I do know that if Gammera exists and did survive an atomic explosion, our world is about to face a calamity of enormous proportions.
Well, I, for one, will not be coerced by this
fist on the desk
myth of flaming dragons. And frankly, Mr. Secretary, I am disturbed. I am deeply disturbed to see that you have decided to go along with these alarmists.
Are you, Senator? Well, from the facts, I am quite concerned. Deeply concerned. And so is the President. General Arnold, has Dr. Hidaka offered any advice?
No, sir, there was none he could offer until he knows more about the creature.
Gentlemen, I think we're in for a time of it. General Arnold, you're relieved of all duties at the command post and will take this assignment, the Gammera operation. Report directly to me.
Yes, sir.
Now, gentlemen, if you will excuse us, the President is waiting.
Okay, do we get to see the President? Who's the President? Hey, Carissa says that the IMDb for this movie is fun. Okay.
Ship Chidori Maru, Dr. A.G. Hidaka, and his two companions will arrive in Tokyo tomorrow.
Okay. The obligatory drunken farmer. And he's about this time he should throw away his bottle of sake. Oh, we didn't get to see it.
Miss Sakurai.
Ah, Mr. Ueda. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I was on my way to see you.
What's wrong? Has Toshio been misbehaving at school?
No, not really misbehaving exactly. Here, look at this.
Oh? Oh, no. Not more turtles.
Yes.
Not more
your
turtles.
brother has some sort of obsession about turtles, Miss Sakurai. I know how children are. They all love to
I'll have to remember
pet
that line.
things.
Oh no,
But
not
this
more
goes
turtles.
Beyond that, so I thought I ought to see you.
You mean it's interfering with his work?
So much so that if he continues, he could be expelled. Of course,
Expelled?
I understand how lonely it is for him in that lighthouse out there.
For drawing
without
turtles?
friends.
Oh, yes. It is very hard on a little boy his age.
Yes, I know it is. Still, you will speak to him about doing better at school, won't you?
And I'm so sorry he has caused you this trouble.
Not
Good
at all.
day.
Good day.
Toshio and his silly turtles. Did you rest well, Father? Do you like working at night?
Well, there's not much need for lighthouses during the day, is there?
No. May I be excused?
Now that was a funny joke, Dad.
Toshio? Come here. What are you up to, Toshio? Are you going to feed your turtle? Oh, Father?
Yes?
Could you come here a second?
Yes, what is it? Toshio?
Toshio needs more beatings.
Sister, and I understand your love for your pet turtle, but we want to talk to you about it. Come out here.
Come, Toshio. You have to learn to make friends with people, as well as animals, Toshio. Your turtle is very nice, but you have to have other friends, too.
Set him free, Toshio. It would be better for him to return to the lake, and better for you to forget about turtles.
Listen, if you promise to get rid of that turtle, I think Father will buy you something. Anything you like.
Yes, I will. What would you like most, Toshio? Tell me.
You want me to tell you what I would really like? What is
Yes,
it, Toshio?
tell us. What is it?
To keep it.
Toshio? I want you to set him free. If you don't, no boy, I'll do it for you. It would be a lot nicer, wouldn't it, if you went out yourself and let him go? Listen to me, Toshio. I realize that this may seem cruel. It is, but I'm doing it for your sake.
You do understand, don't you?
Add saxophone music.
Goodbye. Don't go in the ocean. Stay where I put you.
I was afraid he was gonna. I was afraid he was gonna wing him off the cliff. I'm glad he didn't do that. Uh-oh. Of all the people in the world that Gammera had to land next to, is the kid who's obsessed with turtles. Whoa! He was right there.
Toshio!
No, Mario!
What is it? Why are you running?
Look!
Okay.
Look at what? The ocean? Go to bed now.
Earthquake! No boyo!
Oh, ho, ho.
Toshio, are you all right?
No, it's not an earthquake. Look!
Okay, they believe him now, I think.
Gammera! Must be alive! Toshio! Toshio, come back! Toshio!
Dad's lighthouse.
Toshio!
I can't hold on. I can't. I'm falling. Papa-san!
Toshio!
Yep. Mr. Fox guy came in and says, I'm having flashbacks to last month with this movie. Did you show this last month?
Toshio! Toshio!
Oh, oh, oh.
Toshio!
Toshio, wake up.
Mr. Fox guy says yes, unfortunately.
Wake up, son. Toshio!
Tonight I'm watching the American edit, which I'd never seen before. There's a lot of extra
Sure,
footage.
I'm all right. That big turtle's Gammera.
Yes, but he's gone.
Apparently he's gone back in the ocean.
But how do I get down here on the ground?
It was a miracle, Toshio. Gammera caught you and put you down.
It was a miracle.
Gammera put me down?
Yes, you're safe. You're safe. Thank goodness.
Good evening, Dr. Hidaka.
Dr. Hidaka, could you answer a few questions? Do you know what General Hall's
You
planning?
and General Dean didn't speak to him, did you, sir?
Will Dr. Hidaka arriving on Pan
Yeah, he says that's the one he watched with the groovy theme. Yeah.
Thank you.
But they only play for a few seconds. Literally like 4 seconds.
Hello, Hidaka speaking.
But I had never seen this cut before,
Why, of course.
oddly
Practically
enough.
on my way. That was Professor Morassi in Tokaido.
We were laughing at
Gammera was
the
seen there by a number of reliable
talk show argument
Yes,
scene.
leave immediately.
Yes, sir.
The scout planes have not yet been able to locate Gammera, who is now definitely known to be on or near Hokkaido. Please stay tuned for continuing announcements and bulletins.
It's dreadful,
we will
isn't
issue
it?
provisional evacuation
Where's Toshio? In bed?
Yes, he's had quite an evening.
We all have.
Necessary.
We had the sad saxophone music before, now we've got the sad guitar music.
It's me. Come on out of there. I know why. I bet Gammera scared you, but he's gone.
So he built a little turtle house for a turtle friend that he set free? The Wikipedia quotes somebody as saying that Gammera strikes a balance between silly and cool. I'm not sure about that.
Did you feel that tremor? What's so unusual? We have them all the time here. Yeah, but not that rough. Ah.
But he does point out that Gammera does have its own thing going on. It's not Godzilla, and that's true.
Yes, he's headed for the geothermal installation. Oh, something must be wrong. I'm getting nothing but a high-frequency noise. Another tremor. What's going on? What is it? An earthquake or a steam explosion?
I'm going to post the links in the chat again because our chat bot is not working again.
Good evening, Captain. Good evening. I'm Dr. Hidaka of Tokyo University. How do you do?
I'm Kyoko
How do you do,
Yamamoto, his assistant.
How do you do? And who is this?
Oh, I'm Ayogi, Nito
I'm
Press.
afraid I'll have to ask you to leave. The press is barred.
Captain, just a moment. Perhaps you can make an exception, Captain, in the case of Mr. Ayogi here. I feel he can make a worthwhile contribution to our efforts here. He's been with us from the start, and I value his opinion very highly.
Very well, sir. You can stay.
Thank you.
Explain the situation.
At 1930 hours, Gammera destroyed the lighthouse at Erima here. Then he disappeared. But then, within the last 10 minutes, he was spotted near the geothermal power plant by aerial reconnaissance.
Geothermal power plant? Allow me to explain, Doctor. In a volcanic area such as this, there are many natural steam vents, or fumaroles, pouring out steam at about 1,000 degrees. This tremendous natural energy has been...
The scientist needs to have
generate
geothermal
electricity.
energy explained to him.
Then there is superheated vapor at 1,000 degrees issuing from the ground there. Exactly so.
Excuse me, Dr. Hidaka. Steam that hot
So many
could kill a
suits,
person
yeah.
instantly, could it
Yes.
not? Then why can't we use that steam to destroy Gammera?
I don't think it would work, Captain.
Steam turtle.
Don't forget,
Sounds good.
that atomic bomb generated far greater heat. And yet Gammera was able to survive.
Dr. Hidaka, what is there that could stop Gammera then?
Yeah, but Gammera was frozen at the
What's the
time.
maximum output of that plant? 350,000 kilowatts. 350,000. It might just work.
350,000. That's just a random number. We got 3 people watching
Red Scout calling Red Leader.
on
Red Scout
Twitch.
calling Red Leader.
Say hello,
This is
everybody.
Red
Mr.
Leader.
Fox
All
Guy's
units
here.
ready to attack.
Stand by. Over.
I think that the actor playing the Doctor showed up in other Gammera movies, the Gammera Cinematic Universe. Yeah, I think he did. The
They're
guy
ready
with the
to attack
mustache.
now, Dr. Hidaka.
Captain, please hold off the attack for a while. Let's try my plan first.
Yes, sir.
Ah, Doctor, we're ready, sir.
Carissa says, I have heard that also. Carissa, when I saw that you had typed that line, I heard it in my head with this phony Japanese accent. I have heard that also.
Stand by for signal for full discharge.
Look, he didn't even slow him down.
Yes, this was a mistake. Captain, you'd better give the order to attack. Yes, sir.
Mr. Fox Guy says another great trope of kaiju movies, people getting out of cars and running into rooms. Yeah, anything to kill time. Oh, there goes the power plant. Wow. I like that effect of those shells bouncing off of his back in slow motion. That really worked well. The other thing in that Wikipedia quote was said that Gammera manages to look threatening and ridiculous at the same time, and that I agree with.
Doctor, it looks like he's eating it.
Yes, he is. Captain, call off the attack. He's invulnerable, don't you see?
Yes, sir. What?
Evacuate the area. At least all of the civilians. And arrange for a car at once. I must consult with Professor Morase urgently. Good.
He actually ingested the fire?
Yes.
Although legends of fire-breathing monsters like the Chimera and dragons have persisted through the ages, still it's astounding to discover such a creature really exists.
Yes, it is.
The introduction of yet another scientist.
That I don't know. I've made one conclusion.
Perhaps what?
Obviously, his metabolism is not like ours. It is not only conceivable,
Obviously.
but entirely likely that his cell structure differs radically from known life forms.
No kidding.
For instance, silicon or metallic elements replacing carbon in his tissues.
Precisely. And that would explain his fire-eating and his invulnerability to electric shock, heat, and concussion.
No, it wouldn't.
I agree with you completely, Professor.
Now, I don't remember
Bring
the
us
other version
to a solution, does it?
This pattern
introducing
is
the
very
idea that
peculiar.
he was like
They look
silicon-based
like
or
waves,
something.
And yet I don't think they...
Yes, still they're obviously symbols of some sort.
I don't think they're rhythmic enough for waves. Doctor, it would be very useful if we could decipher this.
No use, sir. Our weapons do not even slow him down. Nothing short of an atom bomb will do any good.
You're right. Put me through to General Yotobashi.
Yes, sir.
There's some random soldier talking to the general there.
And we will do everything we can. You can be assured of it.
I don't think it works that way.
We have just received a request from General Yotobashi for the use of our missiles. Up until now, every armament that we have provided them hasn't done any good.
Our missiles?
Ah, shut up.
But that means getting approval of our allies. Mr. Secretary, I'm certain you're aware of our peace treaties.
Haven't you
and
been proven
our
wrong already?
international obligations.
There isn't time, sir. I recommend that we act immediately. The destructive power of Gammera is beyond comprehension. He must be stopped now.
And I say we must act in haste.
I disagree with you, Senator. You may inform General Yotobashi, Dr. Hidaka, and Dr. Moras that our missiles are entirely at their disposal. Also, that our government will inform our ambassador to the United Nations to call for an emergency world meeting, because if our missiles fail to destroy Gammera, we will need world cooperation to determine our next line of defense.
Mr. Secretary, have you consulted the President on these decisions?
I have, and he has given me complete authority to implement any moves that we may take. General Arnold, get to it.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Fox guy says just call Ultraman.
Now, gentlemen,
Sheesh.
I think we'd better order in some lunch. We're apt to be here for some time.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, Senator.
Yeah, Ultraman would...
You can expect my complete cooperation.
Okay, without his glasses on, I recognize this actor. I keep recognizing these actors. But yeah, Ultraman would end it in the 3 minutes that he has. The 3 minutes of energy that he has. He would solve it the way he solves everything. Just toss it into the sun.
Good evening.
Or slice it to
Situation about
pieces.
the same?
Yes, sir. It's about to be changed any moment, though. The Americans are going to attack Gammera with nuclear missiles.
Carissa says the guy with the thick glasses and the crazy hair needs crazier hair.
Listen. The missiles won't do any good. It's more likely they'll serve as a source of energy.
All right, if you say so. But what do we do instead, Doctor?
Sir? Yes? What is it?
We've completed the evacuation, sir, except for patrol units.
Very good. Carry on. Professor Morase, what can we do?
I don't know, since our most powerful weapons are useless. Dr. Hidaka, do you have any ideas?
One. It's not even an idea, just a thought that occurred to me. We assume Gammera is
Not
invulnerable.
even an idea.
Obviously, with a great deal of justification. But Gammera is vulnerable. To cold. Remember, he was frozen in the ice until the bomb released him.
Yes, of course. We must devise some means of freezing Gammera.
Dr. Hidaka, Professor, the Army may have the answer. Our scientists have developed a freezing bomb to use in fires in nuclear reactors.
Captain, you mean the Army has a bomb that will freeze things?
And I just happen to know about it.
Though it's still in the experimental stage. I believe we can use it, although there is one serious drawback. The gases that they use in this as a refrigerant dissipate in 10 minutes.
I see. Still, these bombs, are they enough for our purpose?
10 minutes. That's enough time for Ultraman.
This may be the answer. There isn't too much time. Do you suppose you can arrange it?
It's urgent.
I believe so, sir, yes. I'll get started on it immediately.
Yeah, you're right, Mr. Fox Guy. Somebody needs to ask the kid what to do. 10-year-old kid. The 10-year-old kid hasn't shown up at the military base yet, though. So everybody's kind of stymied. Until the kid finds his way to the general so-and-so.
It should be easier out there.
Yes, it should. The planes will be able to attack from all sides.
Well, he's crawling on all fours.
Heading for Devil's Spring area.
Roger. That's a big resort area. We have to attack.
What was that? What was that line from Ultraman today? That's the laziest monster I've ever seen.
May I have your attention, please? The effect of the freezing bomb doesn't last very long. 10 minutes, which means that your work has to be completed within that time. So everyone, please remember, when you plant the dynamite, be quick, but be careful. We won't get another chance. Thank you and good luck.
Shall I give the signal, Doctor?
Please.
Mr. Fox Guy says, how will those Cuban cigars save them? Okay, what are they going to do with the dynamite? So the dynamite is going to release the gas? Is that what... I didn't understand what was going on there. Is that it? Was that the gas?
Look, it's working. You're right.
Okay, it was.
Getting slower.
In nap time.
A bomb is doing the trick.
Yeah, another monster just trying to take a nap.
Right, thanks.
Did they have a plan for what to do after they freeze him? This is all moving too fast. I can't follow it. Oh yeah, they should be done in 10 minutes with whatever they're doing.
The camera's beginning to move. We'd have enough time left to plant that dynamite. How much time?
Only 3 minutes.
Okay, so the dynamite is a separate plot from the freeze gas.
Only 1 minute, Captain. Right. Clear out! Take cover! Hurry! Watch your
Okay, what are they going to do?
On the double! Hurry up! Come on! Move it out!
They're going to try to collapse the cliff under him? That's not going to work.
Ten minutes are nearly up now.
Yeah, Carissa says, use all the plans. Use all the plans just in case. Yeah, freeze him and then use every plan.
Time's up, Doctor.
I know.
Stand by!
Yes, sir.
Don't you?
Don't worry. We're all ready. Fire!
Okay. What was that supposed to do? Okay. Okay, he's on his back now. Was that the plan?
Look, he's down and he's on his back.
Yeah?
We've got him now, huh?
Yes, because with Gammera, as with any other turtle, once he's on his back, he can't get up again. We're very lucky that your freezing bomb has worked as well as it did. Dr. Doc, I think we've
Like
done
with
it.
all turtles, that's the secret to defeat, landing on his back.
Yes. And in a month or so from now, he'll be just another zoological specimen.
Uh-huh.
Oh, another zoological specimen. That's... Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Look! He's putting his legs and head back in his shell. He knows his leg. That's what you call turning turtle.
Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Everybody laugh at the giant turtle stuck on its back. Time to pull out the nuclear flying saucer gambit.
An amazing adaptation.
Okay, now everybody's got terrible radiation burns.
The Eskimo stone. Do you have it, Choco?
Yes, sir, right here.
Like
That's
she's
it.
carrying
Now
the
I
Eskimo
understand
stone
the
with her.
pattern, Professor Moratti. Those lines are meant to represent clouds, you see. A primitive but graphic attempt to show that Gammera can fly.
Hmm.
Gentlemen,
Metaluna Juan came in.
God knows where he'll
Hi Juan,
find
thanks for coming.
So far, the American weapons have been completely ineffective, and the Japanese radar systems offer barely enough warning to evacuate the civilian populations. We must now work as one cohesive unit with one objective, creating a plan to destroy Gammera before he destroys civilization. General Arnold.
Thank you, sir. Both Dr. Hidaka and Dr. Morass are convinced that Gammera is continually on the hunt for food. There is some chemical substance in our fuel that it needs to exist. Possibly the same chemical substance it consumed
King
over
of Carrot
200
Flower just
million
subscribed.
years
Thank
ago.
you for the subscription.
In the beginning,
King of Carrot
in the
Flower. I
Earth's
haven't seen you in the chat.
atmosphere,
I'm glad you're watching.
there was less than
Thank
a
you for coming
small
and thank you
part
for
of
subscribing. It's
1%
much
of
appreciated.
oxygen that we, with lungs, need to live. The other creatures existed on the sustenance of sulfur compounds in their seething earth. Now, as oxygen increased in the world's atmosphere, living things started to develop lungs. Now, Gammera is of the prior period, possibly the last survivor. This all came
Wait a
within the
minute.
radii of our microscopes, but the existence of Gammera is living proof that they were not all single-cell creatures.
Do you mean it
literally Wait.
eats fire?
Yes, the beast actually eats fire.
That's incredible.
Gammera
This
actually
may
eats
explain
fire.
why he's most destructive when he's unable to satisfy his ravenous appetite, and least destructive when he's gorging himself at some oil refinery or fuel reserve. Now, that
Wait,
may
so-
be the key
Hang on.
to any plan that we come up with. If we can keep Gammera in one location long enough, we may gain the time we need.
Thank you, General. This conference is now open to discussion. I recognize the representative from the Soviet Union.
I've been authorized by my government to offer complete cooperation. Our nation's resources, scientists, and armed forces are at your disposal.
The American ambassador.
The United States government takes the identical position. To save time, gentlemen, I move for unanimous agreement.
With all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So be it. General Arnold,
I understand that you and General Sokolovsky of the Soviet Command met with other military authorities and discussed an approach to the problem.
Yes, sir, we did. We proposed a meeting of supply and fuel experts, and at the same time...
Point of order.
Chair recognizes the ambassador.
My country has made its position clear. However, the decision of who is going to direct the military operation has not yet been decided.
I knew there would be something with you guys.
We will in no way...
There is no time for indecision or debate. General Arnold has been on top of this situation since the trouble began. It is logical he direct the operation.
May I remind the ambassador that it was General Arnold who gave the orders to shoot down one of my nation's aircraft.
Which
Oh,
was
boy.
flying over American territory at the time and carried the bomb that on exploding released.
Here we go.
The planes were forced into the area, and besides, I want...
Gentlemen, please. As the American ambassador has stated, we do not have time for debate. I recommend that there be a joint command under the direction of General Arnold of the United States Forces and General Sokolovsky of the Soviet Army. If the ambassadors have no objections, I suggest we put it to a voice.
No objections.
If General Arnold considers it practical.
General Sokolovsky and I have worked together before, in Berlin after the war. I think we can still function as a team.
All right. I'll agree to the proposal.
Will all those in favor say aye?
Work together in Berlin after the war.
It is a joint command.
That was
You may continue, General.
not a happy time.
After the fuel and supply experts have solved the problem of logistics, we have one plan that we think might work. We have discussed Plan Z with the Japanese authorities.
Can we get on with the movie?
It is the best of our alternative plans. Is that correct, sir?
That is so. Plan Z is hope of the world.
Plan Z.
Gentlemen,
We finally have a name.
is open to
Plan
discussion.
Z.
Here's another one from Paris.
Okay, so let me get this straight. General Arnold was saying that
Gammera has been sighted all over the world, but only in the air.
Yes.
Carissa says they use all the other letters before getting to
bomb frightened and disturbed him.
getting to a first
What
attempt.
happens when he gets hungry again? See who it
So
is.
General Arnold was saying that Gammera doesn't have lungs.
How do you do?
Was I hearing that right?
And
He
this
says
is Madame
Gammera
Dorsey.
was from a time
Good afternoon.
when life was only
Diamond
one-celled
Diamond
creatures
These are the
on Earth,
supplies from the
and there was no
Lighthouse.
oxygen.
I asked them to come when I heard that they were in Tokyo.
Yes. Well,
Sightsee?
not exactly. You see, our home was destroyed.
My.
They're rebuilding everything now. And since there is no place nearby where we can stay, why, Toshio and I have come to visit our uncle here in Tokyo.
Oh, yes, I understand.
Yes, but as long as you are here, Toshio, you mustn't miss the sightseeing. See that? Right there? That is the Tokyo Tower.
Dr. Hidaka?
Yes?
Is Gammera going to return?
Well, let us hope that he doesn't return here. It's very dangerous.
Gammera saved my life. I hope he's all right. He doesn't mean to be dangerous. He's just so big and clumsy, that's all.
He goes overboard when it comes to turtles.
I like turtles, that's all. I bet Gammera's lonesome too, wherever he is. Even a turtle doesn't like to be alone. If people were kind to Gammera, I bet he could be trained to be nice and quiet, like other turtles.
Everybody's staring at you, Toshio.
I wonder where he is now.
Good night, Toshio.
Okay, I think we
Dr.
missed
Hidaka
something
was very
here.
nice to explain everything, don't you?
Back at home, going to
But
sleep.
at least you realize now how dangerous Gammera really
Okay, so
is.
if Gammera is from
Listen, I think tomorrow
is
you
from a
and I
time before there was multi-celled life on Earth, that means he's been frozen for like 3 billion years.
Toshio? Sound asleep already. Good night. Little turtle.
Little turtle.
A mysterious reversal of this morning's tide caused heavy flooding in the Sumida River, threatening to wash out large stretches of the shoreline. At the Kawasaki Wharf in Tokyo Bay, meanwhile, the mysterious tide, which was accompanied by severe local radio interference, caused this collision between two oil tankers.
Juan says, I love Gammera's song. Gammera's song, the traditional Gammera song doesn't appear in this first movie. It comes later. But this is the American edit of the version of the movie, which has a rock and roll song at the end.
As you can see from these films, virtually nothing remains of the plant but shattered debris. So complete is the devastation caused by Gammera that cost estimates in the millions are based on total replacement rather than reconstruction. This was the scene earlier today at Haneda Airport, when the International Commission arrived.
Juan, is that a link to the Gammera song?
Of 20 nations, including Professor Bauer of the United States, Academician Yanovsky of the Soviet Union. We interrupt to bring you live from the conference itself a statement by Dr. Hidaka.
Good evening. We are fairly certain that the disturbances earlier today have been caused by Gammera's return.
You mean he's in the Tokyo area?
Yes, unfortunately. But knowing that he is in Tokyo gives us a chance to carry out the United Nations Plan Z for his disposal. Yes. Will the projectionist show the film, please? This is Oshima Island in Tokyo Bay. A dormant volcano used at present for a space installation and weather observatory. It is here that Plan Z will be carried out as soon as arrangements are completed. In the meantime, let us hope Gammera stays where we can find him and does no further damage.
Yeah, Mr. Fox says at this point the TV audience has turned to Godzilla's screen show. Yeah, at this point the news would have stopped reporting on Gammera because it's old news.
There it is! Look!
And people would be pretending there was no Gammera. Yeah, Juan, I appreciate you posting the links that are relevant to the movie, but in the future I would appreciate it if you would ask first before posting links. Oh! Okay, he just killed everybody in the tower. Okay, here's the song. You were right, Mr. Fox Guy. The song did come back. I dig this song. This is a great little dance song.
Attention everyone! Take cover! Gammera is attacking! Come on, we've got to stop them! Take cover!
Aw.
Quick! Gammera! He's coming, I tell you!
The cops broke up our fun.
Quickly move! Go on!
Blow your cool. We're not going anywhere. I say we should stay here and dance. How about it?
Yay, stay here and dance. Song is back on. Okay, they're playing the rock and roll song and the disaster music at the same time. That's pretty interesting. Okay. Alright, so Gammera just killed everybody. Killed all the teeny boppers. Yeah, Carissa says only Gammera can stop us from having fun. And you're right, Mr. Fox Guy, it does need more lyrics.
Special bulletin! Special bulletin! Gammera is attacking! Proceed to shelter immediately! Proceed to shelter! Gammera is attacking!
Okay, so I'm not wrong, am I? It's pretty clear that Gammera just killed everybody at the dance party, right? We all saw that, right? New Tokyo, it said. Okay. Roast everybody as they're running away. Juan says, in my opinion, Gammera is better than Gojira. Mr. Fox, they tampered in Gammera's domain. They learned too late that Gammera is a feeling creature. So I think, yeah, copyright smackdown. So, you know, I think we just inadvertently discovered that you can plug the name Gammera into any one of these bad movie speeches. Yeah, where's Peter Graves when you need him? I'm going to post links to the donation and the merchandise in the chat there. We do need the donations, and we have a merchandise store now. 5 people watching on Twitch. Juan says, who's Peter Graves? Who's Peter Graves? Look up Peter Graves on YouTube. You'll recognize him immediately.
The authorities have orders not in the immediately threatened area.
Yeah, he just roasted another 10,000 people right there.
Come on. I can't do it all by myself.
Gammera got serious here.
Joshua, did you hear me? I need some help.
Do not attempt to leave on your own. Only authorized rescue and fire equipment and personnel will be passed.
Don't do that.
If you still have
Listen
running water,
to me.
fill as
You
many
must
large containers as possible so you have a supply on hand for drinking and smuggling.
Peter Graves hosted that. He hosted that science show on A&E, I think, for many years in the 90s. And he was in movies all over the place in the 1950s and 60s. And he was on Mission Impossible in the 1960s. A&E biography, right? He hosted a science show as well. It was also a science show.
We leave in 5 minutes.
Listen, Toshio, Ichiro.
Yeah, you might be too young to learn.
The river.
You will recognize him and his voice when you find him.
Toshio! Toshio!
We were referencing his appearance in a movie called It Conquered the World. He gives this ridiculous speech at the end, where he says, he learned too late that man is a feeling creature. Mr. Fox Guy says, I just saw the logo at the bottom right. That's it. Yeah. And the No 45 logo on the opposite corner. Okay, Toshio is gonna go running into the maw of hell. Yeah, Gammera was all fun and games up until this point. Now he's, what's he killed, like 100,000 people at this point? Yeah, everybody stand around.
Get going! Roll it!
Now, what are they going to do with this? They're going to blow up a train? This is one car. Okay, that's just gonna make him mad. Hi, Cherry. Cherry Round came in. Yeah, we see you.
Yes, sir. I understand. We'll try. Listen, everybody. They won't be ready on Oshima Island for another 24 hours. That means we've got to keep rolling gas down there till the supply runs out.
Okay, so they're trying to keep him in place.
Ready now? Let them roll! Right, boss. Here goes.
They're trying to keep feeding him. Juan says, what is the swastika 45 looking thing? Trump is the 45th president, and this symbol says no 45.
All right, Gary. There's a boy on that tree. What?
Oh, geez, there's a kid.
Hey, Gammera!
Mr. Fox says, ever notice kaiju hate trains a lot?
Come here. Are you nuts? Get out of there. Come on. Come on now, you're going to smoke kill.
No, I want to hang on to the exploding train.
Come on.
I want to die in a fiery explosion. Well, okay, how did they not die in that explosion?
Are you all right, kid?
I think so.
All right, then. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, how did they survive that? I'm starting to think that this movie doesn't make any sense.
Put me down, I can walk.
Oh, he's all right. Oh, he's lucky to be alive. Listen to me,
Yeah,
kid.
kid
That was a
constantly
pretty
complaining.
You pull back there.
It was not. I wanted to see Gammera, that's all.
Uh-huh. Well, you saw him all right, didn't you?
Yeah, you saw
he's
him.
all right. There, now go home, will you?
He wants us to see Governor.
Everybody stopped to laugh at the little kid.
Certain that Gammera will remain at the Kyushu refinery as long as we are able to feed him. However,
Shamera.
our fuel supply is now dangerously low. Without an airlift, we cannot keep him there.
We've anticipated this, sir. By nightfall, you will start receiving a steady flow of high-grade fuel oil.
Excellent.
Mr. Ambassador, my country is very anxious to know how you are coming along with Plan Z.
Our men are working around the clock to complete the installation. Once we have determined a way to lead Gammera to the location, we are hopeful the plan will work.
It must work, gentlemen. If it doesn't, Gammera might well destroy civilization as we know it.
Yes, the conversion to Z plan must be completed in 24 hours.
If it is humanly possible, it will be so.
We know your people are doing all they can.
Gentlemen, I am happy to report that thanks to the UN airlift of gas and oil, the Gammera has stayed put where he is at the refinery, and that Plan Z will be ready for execution tonight.
Yeah, see, that's all we needed was that one sentence.
Congratulate ourselves prematurely, gentlemen. We have only oil and gas enough for the one attempt. And Plan Z must be put into effect at once, as soon as the evacuation of the civilians from Oshima is completed.
And we still need to send some woman for coffee.
Hurry up. Careful.
Well, Ayagi, this is goodbye for now.
You know,
I guess.
it doesn't seem right somehow, Doctor. Not after I've been with you all along.
Uh-huh, but the press is only being allowed to send their pool correspondent.
I know. But that doesn't make it any less disappointing. Good luck.
Ayagi, go to Kawasaki. Dr. Murase is handling things there.
Thank you.
Not at all.
Goodbye.
So long.
All right, detail. Get down and line up along that pole there.
Kawasaki Control calling Oshima. Kawasaki Control calling Oshima. Testing.
Dr. Hidaka should be at Oshima by now.
Yes, and we'll be ready here as soon as they need us.
Good. Let's hope our plan to get Gammera to Oshima works.
You know, I should show Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster someday. I wonder if I could get away with that. Because that is one hell of a crazy Godzilla movie.
Pick up that slack. You want to dump it?
And it has a great rock and roll theme song as well.
Dr. Murase. Excuse me, sir. A young lady to see you.
Excuse me,
Mr. Kurai, what are you doing here?
Please. It's Toshio. At 10, we were supposed to evacuate.
Save the
Toshio.
Earth, that's right.
But Toshio's gone. He's been missing all day.
Ah, that kid again?
Yes, sir. We have just finished unloading. Hey, where do you want the stuff? Take it up to the warehouse, right? He's on his way.
The soldiers on the front line, they're gonna... This will be the third time they've seen this kid. They're gonna be like, just shoot him! Just shoot the kid.
That should do it, I think. Don't you?
Let me
Once
go!
that's
Let
out
me
of the way.
go!
All right, get down out of there.
What's that? What's going on?
We just found a stowaway, sir.
Stowaway?
Boy, it's Toshio. You shouldn't be here.
I'm sorry. I came here to see Gammera, that's all.
Yeah, you keep saying that, kid.
You can stay, Toshio. But you have to behave, understand?
Mm-hmm. I'll take care of
No,
Toshio,
he
Doctor.
doesn't understand. Stop believing him.
It's time to begin. Is everything ready here?
Mr. Fox guy says the kid has a death wish, let him get
Dr.
squished.
Daka,
Well,
are you sure the
they
scheming
tried
yard
to
will
let him
rule
get
Gammera
exploded on the
Toshima?
train.
Practically certain.
And it
But
didn't
soon,
work.
Of course, his behavior pattern remains unchanged.
The exploding train car didn't
You may
kill
begin
him.
your tanker operation. Everything's ready on Oshima Island.
Juan is pointing out that James Rolfe at Cinemassacre has reviews of Godzilla and Gamera movies. He does. I used to watch all those things at Cinemassacre. After 2 or 3 years of watching James Rolfe, I kind of got tired of all the screaming.
Yes, as soon as it's
Kind of
ready.
got old.
Yes. That's fine. Goodbye. Miss Sakura, good news. Toshio's safe on Oshima Island.
Oh, my. Toshio's all right.
Yes, Professor. Phase 2 can begin. The ships are here. Yes, as soon as you are ready. You are? Begin immediately.
Thank you, Doctor. All right, General, they're ready.
Thank you. Sergeant, proceed.
Squad, posts! Open fire!
Juan says, you mean the angry video game nerd? Yes. Well, the guy you were just talking about, James Rolfe. Hey, what's everybody watching?
Look, he's moving. It's going to work.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Naboyo. Hello, Dr. Hidaka. It works. Gammera is following the path of fire to Oshima.
So we did it.
Okay, it's a good thing somebody explained just then what they were doing. Following a path of fire, because I honestly couldn't tell what was happening. No, seriously, I wasn't really understanding what was happening here. I'm not being sarcastic at all.
Can you see anything? Is Gammera there yet?
Phew, for heaven's sake.
Did he just interrupt her?
Attention!
Did he just look over and say, for heaven's sake?
East of Tori Island has changed course and is approaching the Tokyo area. All shipping is warned to take shelter immediately. High winds, rain squalls,
Dr.
extremely
Hidaka,
rough sea
could
currents
this be
anticipated.
trouble for us?
Take all necessary
I think we're all right once Gammera is here.
typhoon. There is a threat of volcanic activity in the Tokyo area.
Who is that guy? There's another bearded old man. Who is that guy? Is this another scientist that we didn't get introduced to?
No! Gammera! It's a trap! Get back! You're in danger!
Shut up, kid. I'm hungry.
Come on, Governor! Come on! Cover! We've got you now!
So if Gammera evolved before there were multicellular creatures, he would have a totally different kind of body plan. I mean, he wouldn't look like a turtle at all. Am I wrong? He wouldn't have 2 eyes and a mouth and teeth.
This blasted
Yeah.
typhoon.
Carissa says movie science.
Might I suggest, Doctor, that we use some of
Mr.
the
Fox
fuel
guy says the
from
new
Plan
Gammera
Z.
movies from the
It's
90s have a really cool backstory.
Because if we did,
Eh.
there wouldn't be
I don't really
fuel
care.
left over for the planet itself. See?
Yeah, that's a new scientist there that we haven't been introduced to.
Sabotage! Hey, you! Stop that!
Sabotage? Wait, what?
What are you doing? Are you mad?
of man! Dr. Yagi!
Let me go! Don't put out the fire! Doctor, listen!
It is a Yagi.
Are you insane? Mr. Ayagi, what are you doing?
Listen to me. You both don't understand. If Gammera sees that, he'll come back, won't he?
You're right, Hayagi. Men, light the fire! Hurry!
Wait, what's going on? So Iyagi starts a fire and he tells everybody they better put it out. What's going on?
Keep feeding the fire! That's it! Forward!
Metaluna Juan says maybe they can explain it away as divergent evolution. I think you mean convergent evolution. But yeah.
The fire's going out!
Dr. Hidaka!
And Carissa says this cut is really messing with the story flow. Yeah.
It's no use.
Gammera!
Look at that. There he goes, and there's nothing we can do about it.
And so close to success, too.
Stupid rain.
Rotten luck.
Isn't somebody gonna shoot Iyagi for setting fire? They should have shot the guy. Okay, now what's happening?
He's turning! The volcano did it! We're all right.
Oh, the volcano. So a bolt of lightning set off a volcano? Is that what happened? I'm starting to just flat out reject this movie.
Here comes the plane. Probably Professor Morassi.
Yes.
10 minutes and counting.
Okay, this I remember having this problem with the Japanese version that we watched before. What just
Not
happened?
even a live volcano could keep me away today.
That's all. Tighten your belt.
We skipped like 3 days here.
Nobuyo!
Good morning, Professor Morassi.
Toshio!
Did you have a pleasant flight?
Toshio!
You had me scared half to death.
Call me later. Right now we got to hurry, or else we miss everything. Come
5
on.
minutes and counting.
Just slap the kid and drag him home.
Wait till you see this. Look.
Okay, there's lots of illegal fireworks going on in the neighborhood now. Mr. Fox Guy is pointing out that nobody has bathed in days.
Professor Morassi.
Ah, Dr. Hidaka. Everything's
Carissa
going
says
well,
just
I
give him
see.
to the turtle. The kid's been trying to run to the turtle this whole time.
The count is now 10 seconds and holding.
All set? Yes, sir. Good. Ready ignition and start off step 2.
Give yourself to the turtle!
Begin step 2.
The great turtle in the sky. Okay, now this... Okay, now this is a thing. Oh, Gammera was right there. Gammera was literally right there. All they had to do was turn on the fire. Mr. Fox Guy says Dr. Oldman really wants people to ask him about his grandchildren. Okay, now Gammera is like 200 feet tall. He must weigh a couple of thousand tons, right? he must weigh hundreds, if not thousands, of tons.
Open hatches. Flares out.
Hatches open.
Yeah, and he'll just stand there patiently while you do this. They should have used the freeze gas here. Now see, I'm thinking. I'm way ahead of them. They should have used the freeze gas. Later, Gamma.
Activate Energizer.
Okay, this must be...
Stand by.
That electrical charge, the Energizer must have frozen him somehow.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Gee, don't count down. Just hit launch. Just hit the launch button.
1, 0.
Okay, you have to raise the platform first. You can't just blast off. You have to count down to 10, then raise the platform. But see, Gammera would have been taller than that whole rocket. It's a success! See, there's no rocket on Earth that would be powerful enough to send a payload that large and that heavy.
This is United Nations Radio. At this very moment, the Plan Z rocket with Gammera aboard is starting on its long journey.
Okay, Happy Gothart says they used a shrink ray, they just forgot to film it.
Is the result of the combined efforts of all the nations of the world. Thus, through international cooperation, a major threat to civilization has been averted.
Okay. These guys wanted a hug so bad.
Well, Joe, you did it. Oh, the three of us saw the beginning and the finish, eh?
Only I didn't get a picture.
Where's he going, Dr. Hidaka?
He's on his way to Mars. Oh, I guess that he'll still be lonely, eh?
I think so, Dr. Hidaka. But when I grow up, I'm going to be a scientist like you. And then I'll go to Mars in a rocket.
I see.
Okay.
Sayonara!
Sayonara Gammera, it says. Only a few seconds of rock music. We get cheated out of the theme song every time. We get baited and then cheated every time. Well, that's it for the American cut of Gammera. I enjoyed that, especially near the end there. The movie it's only 90 minutes long, but it seemed a lot longer because they were doing too much padding and stretching, and not enough was happening. Carissa says, I feel like this was really a totally different movie than the original. It did have a very different feel to it. Because Carissa, you were there when we showed the Japanese version, weren't you? Yeah, it was much more clear what was going on. I think you're right. Juan says, good night, guys, and keep turtling around. Thanks for coming, Juan. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'll be streaming live again on Tuesday. I'll have a Tuesday night live stream at 4 p.m. Pacific Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I'll be joining Mr. Fox Guy on his stream at 7 p.m. Wednesday. I'll be co-hosting Jesse James Meets Frankenstein's Daughter. Mr. Fox Guy says, almost as good as Carlo's song. Keep practicing, My Man Godfrey. Oh, right, the song that Carlo kept practicing in My Man Godfrey, yeah. 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Central Time. So that's 4 p.m. Pacific. Wednesday, I'll be co-hosting Jesse James Meets Frankenstein's Daughter with Mr. Fox Guy on his channel. And I'll host the stream here. And then next Saturday, we'll have another Bad Saturday morning. Me and Mr. Fox Guy will be co-hosting. And then Saturday evening, we'll have another movie here. And then on Sundays now, I'm starting to show, at 7 p.m. every Sunday evening, I'm starting to show a private stream for donors only called the Secret Movie Club. Anyone who makes a pledge of $20 a month to donate to 50th Street or a $6 one-time entry fee can be invited to the movie. So contact me about that if you want to do it. Let me post the donation links and the merchandise links one more time before we go. There we go. All right. That was it for Gammera the Invincible. What was I gonna say? I thought there was something else I was gonna say one last time. Yeah, I don't know what movie I'm gonna show next Saturday, and I don't know what I'm gonna be doing on Tuesday, but we'll have something worked out for you. Yeah, everybody, please give us a follow on Twitch, and go follow us on Discord. 50th Street Studio has a Discord channel. I should put that in the collection of links as well. That's where you can follow news. You can see what's coming up next, and you can interact. You can ask me questions directly on Discord. You can chat with me there. And that's it. Thank you, everybody. It was great fun. And good night.